Hello, and welcome to Dickinson's Real Deal. On this show, I help members of the public to get the very best price for their antiques and valuables. We give you a choice. Sit down with one of our regular dealers. They're going to try and tempt you with a cash offer on the table today.
Let's think. What should I pay you for this?
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
If I don't think that's enough money, I'm going to say, no way. Reject that. Have a gamble. Go to auction in the hope that you will get a little bit more money there. I will be on hand at all times to help and advise you. Today, the show comes to you from Leicester. We're at the home of the Leicester Tigers rugby ground. Yay! Wow, what a scrum that is. People have arrived in large numbers. They want to do business. They want to get some cash or go to auction. You know why they're here. They're here for the real deal.
Plenty of locals have indeed turned out to tackle our dealers. Let's kick things off with Hoggy for the first deal of the day.
Charlotte, thanks for coming in. This is a really interesting item. Where did you get it from?
It was my great-grandfather's, and it's just been stuck in a drawer for the last sort of 16 years since it was handed down in the family, so yeah.
I better just tell people what it is. This is a gold medal, a solid gold, for a prize-winning chicken in 1927.
Yes.
And this was second prize, a silver one, for another prize-winning chicken.
Yes.
I have never seen a chicken win a medal before.
No, I haven't either, so...
I mean, that must have been a valuable chicken to win a gold medal.
Yeah.
So tell me about your grandfather. He won them.
Yeah, he was...
Was he a farrier?
Yeah, he was, from Chester area, and I'm assuming that's where he won them, so...
Yeah, and they've been in the family all that time.
They have, yeah.
Well, I like them. My brother loves chickens. So I know that if I buy them today, and I would like to buy them, he'll be buying them straight off me.
Oh, that's nice. No, they're not going to be scrapped.
Oh, no, they're too nice to scrap. Have you got expectations of money?
I have.
And what are you going to buy with the money?
Well, possibly another chicken.
A gold
Get
chicken.
some more gold medals.
Yeah. This one made me laugh because it was for laying the most eggs in a year, I believe.
Yeah, 200 and something.
66.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was in a day, but that can't be possible.
No.
Can it? No one could do that many, could they? So, should we talk money?
Yes, please.
Let's get it out. So, I'm just trying to think, what do I want to pay for these? I'll tell you what I'd like to pay. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 120, 140, 160, 180 pounds. And
Definitely not.
Excuse me, that was a very good offer.
Definitely not. More than that, I'm afraid.
Okay, 200 then.
It would have to be a bit more as well.
How much is a bit more? I want to buy them. How much is a bit more?
Ideally 300.
Oh, no, I can't pay 300.
Oh, you could try and get a bit closer though.
No, I definitely can't.
What about meeting halfway?
No, I really can't go that high. I'd love to, but I've got to think about selling it and things like that.
You could put a bit more on there, couldn't you?
I could put a bit more on there. How much more would you make you happy? What about
£40?
20? No, 20.
But that would just be for the gold one, really.
No, that's for all of it. Nice try, though.
Another 10?
Yeah, I'll give you another tenner. I don't care. It's only money, isn't it? 230, we've got a deal.
Go on then, thank you.
I'll be selling those to my brother. They won't be scrapped.
Brilliant.
One of my favourite deals of all time is the pair of Cockerell prize-winning medallions, gold and silver. They were cracking. I'm going to give those to my brother.
Oh, Hoggy, you old softy. Next to sail into the dealer's den is Pat. She's brought along an old seafaring game. It's over to Ian Towning.
Crown and anchor, you know, absolutely incredible. As a child, my parents used to play this in India at church fetes to raise money for charities and things like that in India. And I haven't seen one since I left India. I mean, how long have you had it?
Well, it's from my husband's family, and I know they had it in the 30s.
This goes back even further than the 30s.
Yes.
I mean, it's probably 1830, 1820, something like that. You have British flag, American flag, anchors, I mean, you name it, fish. and everything. I don't think this is as old, but these dice are fantastic. I mean, just look at them. They're beautifully carved. Very lovely. And as far as I can remember, there were always 4 dice. For the 4,
Yeah.
clubs, spades, diamonds and hearts.
But it kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
But, so one has been lost somewhere. And shall we have a bet? Who's going to win? Who's going to have a deal here? But it is very, very interesting. I love it. I mean, it's just different. Have you any idea of what it's worth?
Absolutely not.
None whatsoever.
Absolutely not.
Wow. So I have got to guess at a price.
You have?
Well, let's hope I have a good guess. So let's say we start with 50, 100, 150, 200. She shakes her head. I want more.
Well, the first thing I'm going to say, well, you know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, hello, sailor.
Hello, sailor.
Now, we might be wrong here, Ian, but there are 2 valuations, 2 to 300, and there is 3 to 500. I suppose the 3 to 500 is saying, get it out onto the internet. Let's get to those marine collector people, the kind of people that collect all items to do with whaling or seafarers. And we may be overboard on this, we may be going too strong, but I think there's something special here. Is it going to sink in auction, or is it going to be a find and a prize? Well, we'd find out if you went to auction, but Ian, he may decide to put more money down, but that would be my instinct. Give it a run to a wider audience.
Thank you.
Well, as David said, it could be a very expensive piece. It could be 200, it could be 300, it could be 500. Who's to know? My gut feeling says 200. So it's entirely up to you to make your decision today, whether you take my 200 or gamble.
I think I'm going to gamble.
You're going to gamble? Okay, well, good luck. I hope it, I really hope it finds its level and makes you a lot of money. I really do.
Thank you.
Okay, so good luck at auction. Thank you for sharing it with us.
My
It's
pleasure.
absolutely super. And good luck. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, on the Duke's advice, Pat's off to the sale room where Stephen Iredale is taking up his gavel.
£300 to £500 is the estimation. It's open to the public now to see what they say. There is a £300 reserve on it. Is there someone in the room that's keeping mum and thinking, I'll buy this? We're about to find out.
At 340, 360 do I see? At 340 bid 360.
Someone likes it.
380, 400. 400 are coming back.
Someone on the internet spotted this now, and they're in on it at 400 quid.
At £400 then, all done, being sold at 400.
Gavel's gone down at £400. Now, first of all, what's your first thoughts?
I'm happy with that.
OK. 400 quid, take away the commission, leaves 328. You're happy. We gambled, we came to auction, we threw the dice, and we came out with 328 quid. That was the real deal.
Back to business. Helen Gardner's ready for her first deal.
What can you tell me about this mug?
It came from the great granddad's, my late husband's side, and now I've got it.
It's what's called Chinese export. This was exported to Europe in vast quantities in the 18th century because in Europe we weren't making porcelain on a commercial basis at that time. So this mug was probably made around 1780.
Oh, it's older than
1790, maybe 1800.
Oh, right.
I would say at the very latest it's about 1820, but I think it's probably very late 18th century. So it's nice. It's got a few cracks and chips, and Chinese stuff's very popular just now. I've had many of these. Most of them, the handle gets broken off. Sometimes they're a bit bigger. But anyway, it's quite a nice mug. So do you know how much you want for it? Have you got a figure in mind?
No, I'm waiting for you, to
haven't
give
see.
me
Wait
give me
for-
an offer.
Well, I'll give you an offer on it. So look, there's 20, 40, just £60. How do you feel about that?
No, a little bit more.
A little bit more
Yeah,
than that.
some more. Yeah.
There's £70. There's a nice Scottish one. 70. There's £80.
Probably just another, just a little.
It'll just be a weeny
just
bit
another
more.
£10
The
maybe.
no, I'm going to put another £5 down. That is, I had a figure in mind when I saw it, and I know what I can get for these, and I know what I like about them. So I'm going to put £85 down on the table.
I'm looking from afar at this and I'm intrigued by it. But the independent values in the auctioneer have said 50 to 80. And I'm rather surprised because the Chinese market at the moment is very, very strong. The question is it any more at auction? I'm nervous to say it looks little for its money and push you to the auction, and then suddenly there are no bids and you say, David, I could have taken 80 quid home and now I can't take anything home.
85!
85! Helen's offer is well within the range, in fact is at the top of the estimate. So what does the Duke know? It's just a gut instinct that says, it looks cheap to me, but is it? And maybe I'm wrong on this occasion. So I'll leave you with Helen, make a decision.
Okay then.
What do you think?
One
How
more
are you?
£5 and then we'll call it a deal.
I knew you were going to say that. That's why I opened my purse. I tell you, you're so persuasive. Look, take the £5 away. There's 90 quid, and we have a deal.
We have
I'm
a
sure
deal.
we do.
We got a deal.
Thank
you
you,
very
Marion.
much. Thank you.
Always worth pushing our dealers for that extra bit more. Coming up, a surprise visit for Cheryl.
What's your name?
Hi, my name is Aladdin.
Aladdin?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
The magic lamp.
Oh, magic, yeah.
Will Cheryl make Aladdin's wish come true?
250.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Find out after the break.
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
It's been a spellbinding day in Leicester, and as if by magic, look who sat down with Cheryl.
What's your name?
Hi, my name is Aladdin.
Aladdin?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
With the magic lamp.
Oh, magic, yeah. Well, you're the first real life, if only the only Aladdin I have ever met. We're very pleased to meet you.
Thank you.
Now, tell me, what have you brought along today?
I brought some silver. I make my research on the internet. Then I find out, yeah, they are antique, but not old, very old antique. I
Okay.
bring them to see how much they are worth.
Okay, so let's just have a little look. So you've done a little bit of research yourself. We've got some marks here for the silver. We've got the lion, so we know it's silver, and London, and the year letter for 1907. Okay?
All right.
So that's on these three pieces.
Okay.
Now this larger milk or cream jug here has actually got some different letters on it, which is quite strange.
Okay.
So this has got a Birmingham mark, and it is a 1920 mark. Although they've got different makers,
Yeah.
different towns, and one's later, it matches perfectly.
Perfect, yeah.
But this doesn't really detract from its value at all. This is not something that we would look at really as a scrap item, because it has got something about it. Well, I'm going to get some cash out, see what you think.
Yeah.
If you don't like my offer, you know you can always have a day at auction.
Yeah.
Okay. 50, 100, 150, 200, 250.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Okay, keep going. 300,
I'm waiting.
350, 400. Right, where are we? 400.
Okay.
Okay. 450. So what do you think?
No, I think in the auction I will get more than that.
You think you would
Yeah.
get more?
Well, let me tell you what the independent valuers say, and I'll tell you what I think. 450 to 500
Yeah.
is what the independent valuers say. Now, the auctioneer, for some reason, is much more buoyant, and he says 6 to 7. Now, I actually think the 6 to 7 is perhaps optimistic. And the reason I say that, silver in particular, tea services, are not doing brilliantly well at this moment in the sale room. Cheryl has laid on the table
450 at the
450. So already it's getting to be a close run thing.
Yeah.
You can actually say to Cheryl, Cheryl, will you try and put a little bit more in to make it easier? Or, if she doesn't, you can gamble and go to auction. I'm going away now. I'll leave you with the charming Cheryl here.
Yeah.
And be careful, she'll charm you. And then...
I've been rubbing the lamp, there's no luck.
Well, you know, I'll say no more. No genie has appeared yet.
No, not
okay.
yet.
Right, we're close.
Yeah.
Try and get a little bit more and then do a deal.
All right, we see.
Okay.
Do you offer me some more?
Go on then, let's see what else we've got. It might not be a 50. What about 400 and... I'm going to put this down. 480.
I like a bit more.
A fiver, and I am out.
It's a deal. Yeah?
Thank you.
Next, we go undercover with Agent Hoggy.
Chris, I love spy cameras and miniature cameras. Where did you get this one from?
I bought that at auction about a year, 18 months ago, and I was interested in it, and I've had it ever since.
Yeah.
I've not really done nothing with it, so...
So what made you buy it?
Quirky. It's
Quirky.
different, and you don't see them. Well, first one I've ever seen.
They're just so small. The reason they're called spy cameras, they're not really spy cameras.
Right.
They're just miniature cameras, really, but it's a good term for it.
Yes.
This one is quite a high-tech, solid one made in Germany.
Yes, it is.
And this one's made by Minox, and this design was reinvented in the 70s, and I think, late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah.
Now, my first concern is where'd you get the films from?
This is it, haven't it? Had a filming originally.
Did it?
Yes, it did, and it got processed by my father-in-law.
What was on it?
It would just views out of a window, but you could tell that had been in some probably 20 or 30, original.
Yeah. Do you think you're going to make a profit on it?
I hope so.
Want me to make you an offer then?
If you want.
All right
like
then.
That.
Let's have a go. 10, 20, 30, 40 quid. No?
No.
Because David, can you help me here?
Tinker Tailor,
Bond.
Soldier Spy. This would have been possibly used, you see, during that period of the Cold War. The Minox. That was the favoured camera by the spies.
Just see if it still works with the shutter speed. Yeah, no, we're getting there. Oh, yeah. Right, you're on film.
OK. 100 to 150, Hoggy, is what they are saying. I'm going to say it's worth a bit more than that, Hoggy.
Fine,
so
yeah.
you could try it in auction, but the thing that worries me in this digital age, can you get film for it? I don't know. I'm sure there are people out there that will know, but I think it's worth more than that.
I'm just going to gamble here. I'm going to go 50, 60 quid I'm going to go.
No.
Would that be enough?
It isn't.
70. Would that be enough?
No, it's not enough for what
No.
it is.
So you're going to auction?
Yes, I'll go to auction.
I wish you luck.
Thanks ever so much.
How much did you pay for it when you
I
bought
paid
it?
£80 for it. So.
80 quid. It'll either belly flop or make a few quid. I think I was spot on.
We'll soon find out, Hoggy. Let's head to the sale room where the Duke's taking care of business.
I'm looking after his interest. It's here in the sale room. The reserve is 60. What's he going to bring?
It starts at £70, 5 do I see. At £70 I bid him 5 now. At £70 bid him 5 do I see. At £70 I bid him 5 now. At £70 and 5.
Still at 70.
On commission. At £70.
Devil has just gone down at £70. Take away the commission, that leaves £57. And so the real deal goes to Michael Hogbun at 70 quid, real deal.
Now let's pop back to Ian's table.
Brought a nice little silver fish knife. and I'm hoping to get between 100 and 150.
Good luck, Paul.
Very interesting little penknife here. It's really, really cute. How did you get it?
I picked it up in a market, and it's 1901.
That's right. It's Sheffield 1901. And what is also lovely is on the button hook, you have a registration number.
Yeah.
You know, and it's absolutely lovely, you know.
I've never seen one before.
No, and I think that's what makes it so interesting, because it's a collectible little piece. It's in lovely, lovely condition.
Yeah.
It's really pretty, and I just think it's so cute. It really is cute. And why are you selling something so cute?
I just I like changing the stuff I've already got, and I like buying more silver. And
It's a good idea. Yeah. You won't get cluttered up at home.
Well, I don't get fed up with them either.
No, that's very true. Very true. So, let's think. What should I pay you for this?
A lot of money.
A lot of money. Well, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. £100.
Looking for just a little bit more.
Okay. I do like it. You know, I do like it. Let's say 120.
It's your final offer.
That would be my final offer, yeah.
Okay. I'll accept that.
You'll accept it?
I'll accept that.
Could I ask you what you paid for it when you bought it?
I actually paid £30 for this one.
£30 for it. So it was a good investment.
I don't think he knew what he had.
He didn't know what it had. I'm not surprised, you know, because I think it's absolutely divine. So
nice.
Thank you for letting me buy it.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you very much.
Will Ian bear to part with a silverfish knife? Find out at the end of the show. Still to come, Brian's milking stool has no unfold.
This looks like a mouse, but it's not a mouse.
Rushing over to it, looked at it and thought, that's not a mouse, that's a rabbit. He's got long floppy ears.
Will Helen dish out the money for the bunny?
140.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
Still the crowds are arriving in large numbers here in Leicester. Cheryl's poring over her next item.
So this is a very unusual teapot you've brought along. What do you know about it?
Just that it's really Lorna Bailey and it's a one of one and it's just striking.
Okay. And how did you come to own it?
My husband and I went to the antiques fair at Newark and my husband saw it and he liked it, so we thought we'd buy that.
All right. And how long have you owned it?
I'd say about a year.
About a year.
Yeah.
We've done a little bit of homework. I don't know if you've done any homework yourself
Not
about
a lot,
Lorna
no.
Bailey. No. She's done all sorts of things: teapots, vases, sugar shakers. I mean, this is quite weird and wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've ever tried to pour any tea out of it.
No.
I don't think I'd like to either. I'm just going to hold the lid as I do this. Just tip. There we go. And there's the signature there. As we were saying, with this modern day pottery, sometimes it's in, sometimes it's out.
Yeah.
From year to year, it can be up there and then it can drop down, just depending on the fashion. But I quite like this. I think even if you were a teapot collector, you would find this quite interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've got an idea what you want for it, but you're only buying it a year ago. That's not too long. Right, and let's see what we can do to tempt you. So, let's put those away. Okay, 20, 40 pounds.
No.
That was a firm no.
Yeah.
Okay, how about 50 pounds?
No.
No. David, it's a no.
Well, you know, stylistically, it's an interesting thing. I'm not sure how practical this is. There is no spout. They vary, but both the auctioneer and the independents, they encompass everywhere from 50 to 80. At the moment, you have £50, which is the lower part of any of their estimates. But if you got a mid-estimate of, say, £60, you'd have a tenner to take off in commission, so you'd be back to 50. You've actually got to get more than £60 in the auction. You've got to get 70 to take off £10.50 to get you back to 60. So the question we've got to say is it worth the gamble to go to auction to get another tenner's worth? Maybe. I'm going to say it is your decision. It is a close run thing. You may not get much more than that.
Well, Anne.
I think I'll go to auction.
You're going to go to auction?
Yeah.
Have you ever sold anything at auction before?
No, no.
Oh, well, that's going to be interesting then for you. Have a good day with David. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anne takes the gamble. But just how much did she pay for that teapot?
How much did you give for it?
£50.
So it's got a £60 reserve on it. What do you think at home? Well, I think it's a good lookalike to Clarice Cliff, and it is an item in its own name. Maybe it's a good antique of the future. Let's find out.
At £45.50 do I sit? At £45.50 now? Great thing. At 45, 50 may I say? 50 bit and 5, 55 and 60. At £55.60 now? At 55. Good thing.
To life.
£60 being placed. At £60 I'm bid and 5 now. Also then, at 60.
It came in at the reserve of 60, but we have the commission to take out. And so I'm going to say to you, that leaves you with just over £49. £1 short than you paid, and £1 short what you were offered by Cheryl on the dealer's day. Happy?
Yeah, yeah.
That was the real deal. That was the gamble.
Let's get some more dealing underway. Brian's brought in a very interesting piece of antique furniture, which could be in a class of its own. The Duke and auctioneer are standing by. Not all is as it seems.
Now, look at this little stool. This looks like a mouse, but it's not a mouse. What is it, Brian? Tell me about this stool.
It's a rabbit.
A rabbit. So, where did you get this stool?
Well, I used to clear properties.
Yes.
And this was in one of the properties.
So, how long have you had it?
About 25 years.
Long time. It's a nice little milking stool, you would call it.
Yeah, yeah.
But the interesting thing, of course, is the little carving.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, when I first saw it, I thought it was a mouse. It would have been
And
the
me.
mouseman. But we're saying that it's a rabbit.
Correct.
So this was made by...
Well, somebody associated with the same man who does the mouse.
I see. His name
Yeah,
is Heap, and he's
that's
known as the
right.
Rabbit Man.
Well, when we saw this from a distance coming into the room, automatically I think we both felt, Stephen, that this was Robert Thompson, of course, the famous Mouseman furniture.
Yeah.
But of course it isn't, and perhaps you could tell us more about it.
Well, I went rushing over to it, looked at it and thought, that's not a mouse, that's a rabbit.
Okay.
So having had a bit of a look into it, it turns out to be somebody, a craftsman that worked for Thompson of Kilburn up in Yorkshire, and he set up in his own right, as so many people did. We've got Squirrel Man, I've seen something by Gnome Man, and it was just a wonderful little tradition that they kept the idea of signing with an animal going when they left.
Now, Helen is a person that appreciates furniture, especially country furniture. I know she's going to be interested in this. Let's see what she puts on the table.
You'll tell me to stop, will you?
Well, I won't tell you to stop, no.
£50.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. £100.
Quite a bit more.
120. How about 140?
That's more nearer the mark.
I'm getting a bit closer, am I?
Yes.
Well, first of all, I love it. And when I first saw it, I thought it was Robert Thompson. I thought, well, it's...
I thought so
I thought
too.
perhaps the mouse didn't look so clear, but on close inspection, it is a rabbit. 150 to 250 is what they are saying, the independents. If that was a Robert Thompson piece, I think that would be £300 or £400 without blinking. So this man doesn't have the same kudos in the auction, but I think he's more than that. We have a canny dealer here who knows her way around the block, and she knows a good thing when she sees it. I think she's seen it.
Thank you.
Well, there is, how about, now think carefully about it, there's 160.
Well, I'll feel comfortable with 170.
170, if I put 170 down,
God deal.
we'd have a deal.
You've already committed now to saying you will have a deal, and I will not interfere in that. I was about to come in and say don't accept less than 200, but I did hear you say to our dealer, and I must be fair to our dealer, I would accept 170. Get it down, girl, as quick as you can. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to say I think that was a good buy at that. It's a nice item, but shake hands.
Okay, 170, we've got a deal.
170, we will.
Okay, 170. We've got a deal, Brian. Shake my hand.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
At 170 quid.
She's bought it very cheaply.
She's bought it on the keen side. And
that could have made 250 plus a bid or two.
Well, it could, but that's the name of the game. You know, the buying, the selling, and some of our dealers, especially Helen, she's a fabulous dealer, but aye, she's a canny lassie.
So Brian gets his asking price and wee Helen bags herself a bargain. Stay tuned to find out just how much of a bargain. Coming up, some serious action at the auction.
350, 450.
Rarer than they think.
450, 550.
Suddenly they've jumped to 550.
I'm scared.
Find out what's causing such a fuss after the break.
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
It's been a great day in Leicester, and we've time for one last deal. Aunt and nephew duo Cameron and Alana have sat down with Hoggy.
What do you know about it?
A little bit.
Tell us what you know.
I know it's a Norwegian phone.
Okay.
And it's old.
It's definitely old, isn't it? So where did you get it from?
It was my dad's, and he passed away last year and just gave it down to us also.
Yeah.
But he was a singer, and he used to travel the world, so I think he picked it up on his travels.
And do you like this sort of stuff?
Yeah.
If you were an antique dealer, would you collect telephones? You would, so you quite like it. Why are you selling it today?
Well, it's just been left, so I have no interest in it really, so...
In a shed?
Yeah.
It's what we call in the trade a barn find. And look how much phones have come on from that to this 120 years later. It's quite incredible, really, isn't it? This is an iconic phone. It's Ericsson, and they still make phones nowadays. But when you think about when this was made, and I think you're talking late 19th century, it would have been almost one of the first phones. And if you phoned your mates on this, you'd maybe 2 or 3 phone numbers in your phone book. But we still got the bells. Oh, the bells, they ring. And this is where you receive the phone calls. Do you want to receive a phone call? You're too scared. Hello? What's the Queen? Oh, no, I'm selling it. OK, bye. So, you know, this is how much fun they would have been in those days. People would have walked into a house and they thought, wow, look at that on the wall. That's the good points. What do you think the bad points are?
It's in bad condition.
It's in terrible condition.
Yeah.
I had a look at it earlier, and when you flip it over, the whole back has been broken in half. The back's been broken. The dial's missing. The paintwork is chipped and battered and, you know.
Yeah.
In this condition, you've got to spend a lot of money on it. So I will make you an offer, bearing in mind the condition and the restoration. And it's going to be 20, 40, 60 quid.
No.
No?
No.
70 quid.
No.
Well, I've come in here and I've listened to what Hoggy has got to say, and he's quite right. It is, well, it's distressed. A good restorer would produce something like a cover. I'm sure they could get a picture from the internet of an original one, and I'm sure that could be done. It could be fettled and brought back to some reasonable condition. Now, the auctioneer's estimate, Hoggy, is 100 to 200 quid, which I think is low. I think it's a come and buy me estimate. I think in the sale room that's going to bring, I think, over the £200, even in that condition. But I may be wrong, so don't get too excited. Don't spend the money yet. The question is, what is that worth in that condition? I think it's worth a bit more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree it's worth more. But I'm going to stand down from this one. One, I think you'll do a lot better at auction money-wise. Two, you know, with something so rare, you need to give it a wider audience.
Okay.
Auction?
Yep.
Auction it is then.
Thank you.
Good luck. That old telephone could surprise a few faces. When that goes to auction, that's either going to fly out or stick at the money I offered it.
Lana and Cameron decide to take a trip to auction after Hoggy made a token gesture of £70 for their antique Ericsson telephone.
437, thank you.
There's a reserve of £100. The question is it going to make the £100? Well, I would have thought it should do. It is an early collectible. It wants a fair bit of restoration, but it's very unusual.
Well, it starts here with me at £75. 80 do I see?
£75.
I bid 80 now. 80, 5, 90, 5, 100, 100 bid has it. 10 do I see? 130, 130, 140.
140. Maybe the internet's coming in.
160, 170, 180.
Rarer than they think. 200.
240, 240, 260. 260 do I see? At £240, 260 new bid, 280, 300, 350, 450, 450, 550.
550. Suddenly they've jumped to 550. I'm scared.
All settled then, on the internet, at £550 and selling. Gavel raised at 550.
Well, I'll tell you what, suddenly we were going along at 60, 70, 80, 100, 120, and then suddenly £550 on the internet.
That's great.
Take you a bit by surprise?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Taken me by surprise. £550. Wing, wing, hello. That was the bid. Take away the commission, about 450 quid. Blimey, that was a real deal, wasn't it?
That certainly was worth a round of applause. I think we all need a bit of a lie down. We've had some great results in Leicester, with our dealers forking out over £1,500 of their own money. But how well have they done at turning their buys into profit? It was just the one item for Ian.
And when I saw it, I thought I must have it.
Ian's decided the small silver fish knife needs a bit of work. He's sent it away to be enamelled. It'll then be open to offers. 2 buys for Helen today.
There's 90 quid and we have a deal. I'm sure we do.
We got a deal.
Thank you,
very
Marion.
much. Thank you.
Helen tracked down a dealer specialising in Chinese porcelain and by doing cashed in a nice little earner.
So it'll be interesting to see what this is all about.
After buying the stool for a modest price, Helen hasn't actually managed to sell it on yet. Next up is our Cheryl. The price of silver dropped slightly, but a small profit was served up all the same.
He definitely did well. He had the look of the genie on his side.
And finally, Hoggy only bagged the one item today.
They were cracking. I'm going to give those to my brother.
Our dealers can't help themselves sometimes. Hoggy's brother never did see the medallions. Instead, they were sold online and brought a reasonable return.
That must have been a valuable chicken to win a gold medal.
Hoggy just can't say no to a tempting turnover.
We've had a great day here in the sale room. Bags of atmosphere, lots of action, lots of bidding, lots of buying. That's what I like to see. Don't forget to join me, David Dickinson, next time for Dickinson's Real Deal. Bye for now.